Okay. All right. I think we're up to 27 now. So I think we'll go ahead and get started because I want to respect everyone's time. So we are going to get started, and I'll go ahead and walk us through the agenda. I don't know if Amy or so, thank you. Okay, so for those of you who signed up for the guest speaker, hopefully you signed up for the whole experience. But we unfortunately learned this afternoon that the guest speaker had to cancel at the very last minute. This is the first time this has happened to us in Yayoi, I don't know how many years, but we're very sorry. But our very fearless leader, she doesn't want me to name her, but Yayoi spent the day reprogramming the evening discussion. And we have got a great lineup. And I'm not saying that because I'm speaking, I'm saying it because of everyone else speaking. So we're going to have a 5-minute screening of a great story of stuff video. And then we're going to be following that with some highlights or spotlights on some of the Reduces programs that are going on. You can see them listed here. And I just want to say if Yao Lin has joined, I'm really looking forward to your presentation because I'm dying to hear what's happening across the river from me in Northern Virginia. And then we will do what we always do, but we never have enough time, which is we'll have our breakout social. We've got some great topics to talk about, but you can also just talk about whatever you want in your small group. So I hope you'll stay for that. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Yayoi to make announcements. I'll just say one more time for those who've joined. Oh no, we still have 27, so we're good. Okay, Yayoi, over to you for the announcements that we have. You're muted, Yayoi.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you, everyone who showed up despite the last minute unfortunate cancellation of the guest speaker. But I think we have a really great program coming up, so I hope you will stay until the end and enjoy. So first, I'd like to uh, share the first announcement is that we have one new group from Illinois, and we are very excited to have Seema join our team. And she's going to share what her group has been working on. Uh, Bring Your Own Container is a new program for them, but they've been working on waste reduction for a very long time. So she's going to share about that later on as one of the 5 presenters. So please look forward to it. Next slide, please. Thank you. We are on Instagram, so please stay connected after or in between our bi-monthly meetings. Tag your Instagram post to US Reduces. Follow us, we'll follow you back. And send local news to, if you have any newsworthy items we can put in our newsletter, please send it to info@usreduces.org. If it's like a short paragraph with a picture and ready to go onto the newsletter, that will make it really easy for us. And we love pictures. Please share any local actions on the BYO front we are working on. And we also have Google group and also have a Facebook group. So please join and stay connected during the, in between the 2 months we have, meetings. Please, let's stay connected. Okay, next slide, please. It's a fundraising season now, and your donation will be very much appreciated. thank you so much to Kathy and Stephanie for such a generous donation. We are almost making the goal. We need funding to pay for the Zoom, pay for the website, and pay for the Google Workspace. So if you could afford anything, any little or big, it's really appreciated. $5, $10, hundreds of dollars, anything is appreciated. So please consider donating. Our donation link is here's a link to the donation. Thank you very much. Okay. Next slide, please. I want to talk to you about the BYO bill amendment petition in New York State. There's a bill in New York State legislature, and the legislative session is starting soon in January. And right now, the bill is not very helpful at all, because it only allows what we already know, allowed. We are allowed to BYO for beverages, for example, and we already know that. We want to be able to BYO, bring your own, for food containers, for takeouts. So if I dropped the link in the chat. If you haven't signed on yet, please sign on. And as a matter of fact, if you're US Reduces group, you are a group, so you can sign the petition. So if you are part of this, please sign on and put your Reduces group name down. That would be really, really appreciated. There are many groups in our network, and I'd appreciate if you could sign that on. And you can sign from any states, because if we can amend this bill and pass it, then that will help other states to do the same thing. I'm in New York, and I'm the one, and Jira's not here today. She's traveling. And others are the ones who are pushing this bill in New York State. But we are counting on the bills, the laws that were passed in California and Illinois and Oregon and Maine. That already, where the BYO people already have the right to bring their own containers for takeouts. So if we pass it in New York, we will be the fifth state that is officially allowing this. So it is important that we get your support basically from anywhere, any state, anywhere around the globe is appreciated. Thank you. Please move on to the next slide. Okay. Next meeting is in February, and I'm so excited to announce that our next guest speaker is Hira the Earth, Hillary the Earth. She's an artist, she's a musician, she's a rapper in New York City, and she is really, really fun. So please register for the February meeting now. Please mark your calendar, and I think it's going to be really, really exciting and fun. And I can't wait to talk to her about her journey. Thank you. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to show the film now. I'm going to pass it over to Stephanie. My announcements are done. So thank you.
Okay, it would help if I unmute. Thanks for those great announcements. I was saying I signed the petition, I registered for the next meeting. You guys make it so easy dropping it in the chat. I think we're going to turn to the 5-minute film now from the story of stuff. Is that right? Oh, now you're muted, but someone will start the film.
Yes, Amy, could you please?
Amy, you there?
Yes, sorry. I can share it 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
If you all haven't seen Story of Stuff films, they're great to share with groups that you're trying to inspire. Okay, I'll shut up so we can listen to the 4-minute film. Thank you. Thanks, Yayoi, for the idea of showing the movie, and thank you, Amy, for making it happen. This is the second time I've seen this, and I now know how to pronounce, well, leachate. Did I say it right? Anyway, but it's always very depressing. But I'm going to try to think of it as inspiring. It's inspiring the work that we're all trying to do on reducing. So when we get to the section that I look forward to getting to in a little while in our breakout sessions, we can share our ideas for where we're at, latest, greatest holiday waste reduction tips. And Yeah, but if anyone has any quick comments on the film, as I said, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Yayoi, that all the Story of Stuff films are free for screenings, and they really make great screenings. If any of you speak in schools or in other organizations, it prompts great discussion. But any quick questions before we move on to the spotlights of the Reduces groups? Okay.
Yeah, I can drop the link to the Story of Stuff channel. They have a lots of cartoons, like short cartoons, which is like really great for sharing. And but they also have um longer films, and like a couple of years ago they had longer documentary films, and I think that you have to purchase a right, but I'm not quite sure. You probably can also go to their website and see if you can get like a group screening, and they might
Yeah.
have some kind of support for that. But I'll drop the link.
Okay. Thanks, Yayoi.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move into our spotlights, and this is sort of round robin. Each of the Reduces groups, there are 5 of them, are going to each speak for 5 minutes about some cool things that they're doing. And we will start with Bridget from Jamaica Plain Reduces, which is just outside or in Boston.
Yeah, we're just one of the neighborhoods of Boston, so it's a
Okay,
Boston area one. So
okay, so
I
over to you, Bridget.
okay. I apologize. My thank you, Shara. My Bluetooth mouse is fading, so I might take me a while to get to each thing. I'm going to just share my screen. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
And, all right. So by way of introduction, I wanted to say how I got to here and how this group got organized. I am an emergency physician, and over the past years, I've gotten involved in sustainability in medicine, and I've learned a ton about waste in the hospitals and in the emergency rooms. We're putting away about 4 pounds per patient, the waste audits show. So I've been working to try to educate other healthcare providers about waste, and through that I've gotten educated about plastic waste. And I actually just to sorry, I didn't start this at the right. So just to put a plug out there, I'm on the speakers bureau of both Beyond Plastics and PSNAP. I don't know if you've heard of that, Physicians and Scientists Network addressing plastics and health. And I do lecturing on plastic and plastic toxicity, as do another bunch of other people in these groups. If you ever wanted somebody to do a lecture on plastic toxicity. But I was talking to a neighbor who happens to work for Clean Water Action, and we were sitting in a cafe, and somebody walked out, or person after person walked out with their disposable plastic cup, and we started talking about doing something in Jamaica Plain. And so we have started I'm going to go back a slide, JP Zero Waste. This was before I knew you all existed, so I don't have the JP Reduces, but I do have the sticker. And we got connected through Clean Water Action to Rethink Disposable, which is underneath them. And Amber Schmidt, which some of you likely know, is the New England coordinator for Rethink Disposable. And we got in touch with her, and she's helped us to kind of give some guidelines on our 4 initiatives. BYO, we're going to hopefully do Skip the Stuff. With Rethink Disposable, they have some funding to get restaurants to switch over to disposable. And then the other thing is to work with Recyclable, which is a reusable to-go container company in the greater Boston area. So Rethink Disposable has some money, and they have abilities to apply for grants. And she applied for us for a Mass DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, a micro grant. And that is to help to get, we're hoping 6 to 7 restaurants set up with Recyclable. But in that grant, we had to do a waste audit. So what we did was we took all of the garbage that was in a half-mile strip of downtown Jamaica Plain, 25 barrels. So here's the Recyclable, 25 barrels. And we did it in a public space, and we got the city to not pick up for 24 hours, which apparently they have to pick up twice a day. That's how overflowing our garbage is. They have to pick up twice a day. So we had them hold for 24 hours, and we found I think it was about 340 pounds of trash. Shara was there too, but this was a picture taken before she was there. 340 pounds of trash, about 70 pounds of it was dog food, dog poop. And then we found almost 300 coffee cups, about more than a third of them were from Dunkin' Donuts. And the rest we have a bunch of small local coffee shops, hundreds of bottles that could have been recycled. And so then what our hope is to go out now with this information to the restaurants and share this information. And then with the grant, we're supposed to do a second waste audit after we've done our initiatives for numerous months to see if we've actually made a case. So it's taken off from there. I did just start a website. Oh, I wanted to show a picture of, we got a little local news. The JP news is just a small internet thing. And then I started a website, which it needs to be updated. But and I connected through Amber, got me connected through you all. So that I'm going to put the stickers out once we get reaching out to restaurants again. We tried reaching out to restaurants in the beginning and got a lot of, hey, that sounds great. And then nobody showed up to our informational meeting. So we're going to hit the pavement after the holidays. And I'm going to stop sharing now. Oops. Sorry, there's my mouse having problems. So that is what we're doing. So we're still in the beginning stages, but thank you. So I just wanted to share the waste audit was very powerful to have it in a public space where people could see. We did it on the front lawn of the library and the community center right in Jamaica Plain, where there's lots of foot traffic. And so we set up an informational table. And so we at least got a lot of questioning glances and discussion. So thanks for the time to tell.
Wow, Bridget, that was incredible. You started when?
The whole discussion with the neighbor was probably the beginning of 2025. So it's it goes in fits and spurts, and it's mostly me from JP, but now connecting with Amber and Recirclable, they're helping enormously. But now that we did this, and now that I have a website, we're starting to get some more people sort of signing up and expressing interest. So I'm trying to think of different ways to do some educational things and how to get it out to the restaurant. So it's
Wow.
a work in progress.
Okay, well, I think we'll all stay tuned. Really inspiring stuff for less than a year. That's just incredible, actually.
Thank you. I do
Super
recommend
impressive.
doing the waste audit, even if it's not for the any money, because it just really brings home
Yeah.
the
And you
information.
have a website, so if we want to follow what you're doing, we
Yeah,
can do that.
yeah.
Do you
It's
want to
JP
drop
Zero
that in the
Waste.
chat?
I can. It's being updated right now. We've got it out really quickly to have it ready for the waste audit, and then the person who's helping me hasn't been able to update it, and the sign up part of it didn't work. So I'm technologically completely inept. But yeah, it's just jpzerowaste.com.
Okay, okay, great, great. Thank you so much. We will do questions at the end of the five rounds. So if you have any questions, just save them for the moment. And thank you, Bridget. We'll now move to Seema from Lake County Reduces in Illinois.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Seema Kesha. I'm the founder of a small grassroots group here in Illinois. We're called Go Green Vernon Hills in Lincolnshire. So Vernon Hills and Lincolnshire are two towns or communities. They're 30 miles north of Chicago in Illinois. And we founded in 2019, and I thought I could share a little bit about how this started. I volunteered a lot at my daughter's school in the lunchroom. I noticed a lot of waste in the lunchroom, and I approached the principal and said, is there something that we could do about it? And she was open to listening and open to me coming up with recommendations. And at the time, I was just a concerned citizen, a concerned mom. I didn't have a group or anything to fall on. But what I learned is because I spoke so much about wanting to reduce waste to everybody I met, that at the time, our realtor told me there is a group in Illinois which is called Go Green Illinois. And this is a network started by two women that bring together different environmental groups across the state. They meet once every 2 months. There is a topic discussed on an environmental issue, and experts are brought in from Illinois as well as across the country to talk about how we can deal with that issue at a local level. So I joined them. I started Go Green Vernon Hills and Lincolnshire. And then I learned about how schools within Illinois are working on bringing zero waste through a composting and recycling program. So essentially, it's a simple taking your waste and putting, the food waste in one bin, the recyclables in one bin, the liquids in one bin, and then the trash in the other. And then everything is sent to the appropriate places, and not a lot of it is not landfill. So we worked with the school in 2019 to pilot the program in one of our schools. And then the pandemic hit. And then finally in 2022, we were able to bring composting and recycling to all the schools within our school district. We did a waste audit, and we estimate that we are diverting anywhere between 45,000 to 55,000 pounds of food waste in a year from our schools. So while we were doing that, we also started working with our municipal governments, talking to them about food waste as well as single-use plastics waste. And what I forgot to mention is very early on, in the inception of our group, we decided that we would focus our efforts on just bringing solutions to the community on food waste and single-use plastic waste. We just wanted to narrow our focus on those two. So in working with the municipal governments, we were able to convince both the village of Vernon Hills and the village of Lincolnshire to provide a curbside food scrap pickup program to residents. So now residents can mix their food waste with their landscape waste, which is picked up and taken away to a commercial composting facility. It's a subscription program. And, very soon we realized that there were residents within our communities that can afford the program, but then there are residents that cannot afford. So we then went back to the municipal government, and it's been a few years of pushing, but we finally have got now a drop-off available, which will be starting early next year. And last year in the summer was the first time that the village of Lincolnshire also agreed to provide composting at one of their biggest community events, which is called Vernon Hills Days. We did a pilot. So we stood at the food waste station to make sure that the recyclables were going to the right bins and the food waste was going to the right bin. But it was just a pilot. So that's the work that we've done on the food waste side. On the single-use plastic side, we're part of a bigger coalition called the Coalition for Plastic Reduction. This is a 45+ member community organizations here in Illinois, and they're working on policies to reduce single-use plastic. So one of our biggest campaigns is to bring a ban on polystyrene foam foodware containers. And I sit on the steering committee for the Coalition for Plastic Reduction. Now, along with that, my group, we've started working on a Bring Your Own Cup campaign program. And since I spoke to Yayoi, the program, we've changed it from Lake County Reduces to Illinois Reduces. And the reason for that shift was because we started hearing from other environmental groups within the state to say, we may be interested in doing this as well. So we wanted the stickers and the cafes and the restaurants to follow, to have the same campaign. So we decided to move from a county to Illinois Reduces. We're in the planning stages of the campaign. We decided to go small. We decided first to focus only on cups and not food containers, as we thought this is the low-hanging fruit, probably more achievable for us. Our target is also right now just Vernon Hills and Lincolnshire, and probably to get 10 cafes to carry our stickers. And our hope is also to collect some basic information on what kind of discounts and incentives do they provide, as well as, what are some of their barriers in terms of wanting to do BYO. I think that's about it. Thank you, everyone, and excited to join the group.
Thank you so much, Seema. That was fantastic. And I also was taking a lot of notes and also really want to track how you're doing on a few of these initiatives over time, especially the Bring Your Own Cup campaign. So hopefully you'll keep us apprised of what you're doing. Thank you so much. So impressive. Okay, and now we will move to Yao-Lin. As I said in the beginning, Yao-Lin is going to speak to us about Nova Reduces, which is my neighbor. I'm in DC. Northern Virginia is just across the river, and so a lot of what happens in one jurisdiction affects what happens in the other. So I can't wait to hear, Yao-Lin, your update. Take it away.
Thanks, Stephanie. I guess I'm going to share my screen. So a little bit, hi everyone, I'm Yao-Ling. So a little bit about me, I sort of started a sustainability blog about 20 years ago when I was in middle school. And last year there's unprecedented heat wave across the East Coast. So that kind of make me very anxious about the climate. So I started a climate actions group, like on meetup.com. At first, we were just talking about what kind of everyday actions we could have. And then the participants have very passionate response. And as a result, I actually started to do a newsletter to introduce what we can do in everyday life. And the past year, I also work with different organizations, for example, the local climate actions network on the legal efforts, and I run my own group. But I was also trying to scale the zero waste campaign in Fairfax County, Virginia. And so basically last summer, I organized my first zero waste event, not store. Basically, the idea is to have neighborhoods clean up so that people can get together. And then I did some education on how can we reduce our zero waste. And in this event, we actually visited a zero waste store in Fairfax, Virginia. So, but I figured that wasn't enough because in our cleanup, we found lots of plastic waste, and we figured the root cause is people are using plastic, and it's actually systematic. For example, in my daily life, I try to bring my own shopping bag for grocery, but there's lots of food or vegetable, even in the farmers market, they are just wrapped in plastic. So that's why systematic individual efforts are not enough. So I just start to think like, what should we do? How can we start from everyday life, but also influence our community? So actually this year, I joined Climate-Based Fellowship to explore what I can do for climate change. And I spoke to a fellow. She worked in San Francisco City Hall, and they actually have their own Bring Your Own campaign. So what they did in San Francisco is they marked the merchant who support the BYO campaign in the map, and they also do outreach to the merchant. But their approach is it's relatively simple. Instead of just tell them to use containers, recycle containers, or take personal container, they just ask them to adopt the stickers. So any merchant that use the BYO sticker will be included in the map. So that made me start to think, how can I scale that in Fairfax County? Because we have a climate actions plan, and the county also have the green business department. So over summer, I actually talked to the department, the staff there. They're really interesting ideas. They also introduced me to talk to a few festivals organizers because they were really interested in how to reduce the waste. And in Fairfax County, there's lots of outdoor festivals or events. And I noticed they are still using lots of plastic containers or plastic bags. Plastic cups. And then I met Stephanie in an event in DC. So I get to know to the US Reduces. And I was trying to, again, scale the clean out events idea. This time to a canvassing for merchant to adapt the Bring Your Own personal cup stickers. But actually, I have some setback this year, and especially for this event. Basically, I found I probably need some organizing or leadership experience, and unfortunately, participants are really interested in volunteer event. But when we try to connect them to deeper initiative, it's time consuming. So people often have like become uncommitted. Also, I found that the local governments are their hands are kind of tied right now because of compliance issues. So yeah, that's it for my sharing. I'm really excited to join the group, and I look forward to learn how other people overcome those barriers.
Yeah, Lynn, do you know Mike Tidwell in Maryland? Chesapeake Bay Climate Action in Maryland.
Yeah. So I actually I volunteer for the Virginia branch for a bit.
Yeah, I know him long time when he first started in Maryland.
Got it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Yalin. Also, really impressive what your story is and how long ago you started and I was smiling when I saw your challenges slide because boy, haven't we all faced those? Anyway, we could talk about it some more in the breakout groups, but your challenges are my challenges. It's actually, so thank you. And let's continue to compare notes. I am actually going to set a timer so I don't overspeak. And it's my turn I don't have I don't have a PowerPoint, but I want to just quickly tell you, I actually wanted to introduce myself by way of explaining the connections that I have with the other founders of this group. So 5 years ago, I was writing my book, Zero Waste Living the 80/20 Way, and I interviewed Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie Bonneau is on this call, the Zero Waste Chef. We all know and love her. And when I was interviewing her, she actually suggested that I interview someone else in Canada who had started the Reduces program that I think many of us are modeled after. And I did interview, oh my gosh, what is her name? I interviewed the woman that Anne-Marie told me to, and I was so inspired that I wanted to start my own Reduces group here in DC. And Anne-Marie wrote a wonderful blog, so that inspired me even more. So in 2022, I did start the DC Reduces group. And I just want to say, Yellen, on the challenges thing, I had 6 volunteers the first year. I was so excited and we got so much done the first couple years. I now have 0 volunteers. It's just me. So I realize I've got to go out now and drum up some more get some more leverage myself a little bit more. But I'll tell you a little bit about DC Reduces and where we are. We have 68 businesses participating in that have the DC Reduces sticker. And they're broken up into kind of 4 categories: coffee shops, dry cleaners, mom and pop grocery stores that will let you bring your own produce bags, for example, and then sort of miscellaneous thrift shops, those kind of places. And Yayoi wanted me to talk about the dry cleaner piece. So some of you who've been around a while have heard me say that's how my story started, was at the dry cleaners. When I left my corporate job where I'd been going to the dry cleaners every Saturday, and driving me crazy with all the plastic I was bringing home with my clean clothes, I finally, after I left my corporate job 6 years ago, walked into the dry cleaners and finally said the question that had been on my mind, which is, oh yeah, Tina Soldavieri, Ronci Reduces, thank you. I asked the question, could you put my clean clothes when they're clean into my own garment bag, which I brought with me? The dry cleaners said yes. That made me realize maybe other people, quite a progressive neighborhood I live in, might want to do the same thing. So I asked the dry cleaners, would they be willing to carry reusable garment bags? And they said yes. So very quickly, the program, if you will, in that dry cleaners, I did not start the program, I just asked the question, but that program took off. 40% of their clients now carry these green reusable garment bags that have the dry cleaners logo on it. And I have to say, and it's in my neighborhood. When I see someone on the street carrying the bag, I'm like a spy. I go around with my camera and I chase them and I quietly take a picture of them because I get so excited. So it was a little thing, but it actually opened up my whole world to zero waste. The piece of the dry cleaners that was really disturbing to me, besides the plastic I was bringing home, as I looked up the figures, about 300 million pounds of that single-use dry cleaning plastic ends up in landfills in the US every year. And there's got to be a better way. And in fact, there is a better way. So there are some challenges with pushing dry cleaners to take on this program. The biggest challenge is, do they actually clean themselves in-house or do they ship it somewhere else? If they ship it somewhere else, you can't really effectively get them to start a reusable bag program. But if they do the cleaning themselves, you can do a lot. They can do a lot. They can introduce these bags or at least accept customers' bags. So I'll stop there. Oh, I still have 50 seconds left. But I'll stop there and just say the challenges are I'm excited that we've got 68 participating businesses, but the challenge is then to really educate consumers, right? To get more consumers to take this up. So it's not just a sticker in the window of these 68 businesses, but actually people who recognize what it is and what that means they can do differently in that shop. Okay, I'll stop there. And I will hand it over to the last of the five of us speaking on Spotlights, which is Yayoi of Ithaca Reduces, our fearless leader. Go ahead, Yayoi.
Just a sec. Thank you to Stephanie. Thank you to everyone. Let me share the screen. I hope it works. Are you seeing the screen okay? No, I'm not seeing it. Is everything looking good to you? Good? Okay, great. Okay, hello. I'm going to share this presentation I did a little while ago for Just Zero's waste-free conference and waste-free summit. I'm going to add a little bit more to that. So it's a little bit long, but it's not too long, and please bear with me. I'm Yayoi. I'm the founder of Zero Waste Ithaca, also known as Ithaca Reduces, and part of the obviously BYO network. I want to start with one of my biggest pet peeves. I am constantly being told that bring your own is just about individual consumer choice, and that it's not important structural issue. I'm so tired of hearing that because it's just so completely wrong. And I think it's a little lazy to think that way. Around the world, governments promote BYO. The United States stands out as the only country where bringing your own clean containers for takeout is still restricted by law at state levels. If it were truly just a low-hanging fruit, the BYO is often called low-hanging fruit. If it's truly just a low-hanging fruit, why are so many powerful interests working so very hard to keep it out of reach? Maybe it's not a low-hanging fruit at all. Maybe it's a low-hanging fruit that packs power. BYO is the foundation of community-led reuse. No corporate intermediaries, no apps, no logistics contractors, that it empowers ordinary people and small businesses to act directly without waiting for some company to scale reuse for them. So I want to show you this like a 20 seconds reel that we posted on Instagram. And we got like 100 likes, which is very, very rare. It's like amazing for us to get so many likes on Instagram. So I want to show you this. It's from a Chili Fest in Ithaca last March. Watch. Oh crap. Sign in to confirm I'm not a bot. Oh shit. What do I do? Okay. Okay.
That's awesome, Yayoi.
Yeah, thank you. I love this because is it sharing okay now? Is it, are you seeing the right screen now?
We're seeing what BYO really represents. It's back to the starting the picture before the video. So maybe you want to advance it.
Okay, great. All right, so I just wanted to show you this because this video shows that like when the conditions are right, people can start bringing their own containers. It is a myth that people are incapable and too ignorant to bring and carry their own containers. For this particular Chili Fest, people were bringing their own containers, even though the festival didn't officially allow it because New York law doesn't allow it. But people brought their own containers because they thought that they can get extra portions by bringing their own big cups. And so this wasn't officially sanctioned, but businesses were doing it under the table. So we want some clarity here. This should be allowed. And we shouldn't be like, scrambling so hard to make BYO right when this is allowed in outside of the United States, in most countries. So here in Ithaca, as you all know, we do the same thing. We launched a BYO sticker program back in 2022, so people can instantly spot businesses that welcome reusables. Each sticker represents trust between a cafe and its customers, and a commitment to reuse over disposability. It's a small visual cue that normalizes a bigger cultural shift. The program started with a handful of locations, and now it is growing through volunteer outreach. We don't have no big grants, no corporate contracts, just community efforts showing that reuse can grow organically and cheaply. And obviously, we are part of BYO-US Reduces, a national network linking local BYO initiatives across the country. And some chapters in California and Oregon are really thriving. We heard some good story. We just was talking to Tara in Oregon from Waste Free Advocates, also known as Oregon Reduces, and they're doing really well. And so this shows that, when the BYO is legal and allowed, it can really thrive. BYO only looks like an individual choice because our law makes it so. When health codes and liability rules support reuse instead of blocking it, BYO becomes a structural solution, a right and not a favor. In New York, legislators introduced the Bring Your Own Rights Bill, Rights to Refill Bill. Unfortunately, this is not helpful as written. It restates what's already legal in New York, coffee cups, but leaves out takeout and grocery prepared foods, excuse me. We proposed, Zero Waste Ithaca and our allies proposed amendments to fully legalize BYO for food takeout and protect businesses from liability. We have a petition going on that, like I shared a little earlier. If you could sign that, that would be really great. I'm going to drop it in the chat again. If you haven't signed it, please sign. And I hope that all Reduces group across the country will sign for us as well in support. It's open for both individual and organizational sign-on. And the legislative session is starting in January. So we are around the corner to start getting organized. Corporate deposit return and reuse systems are often centralized and profit-driven. And this is important to keep in mind. They collect data, require contracts, and put reuse behind a paywall. Community reuse is transparent and accessible, built on trust, not transactions. That's why we oppose privatized corporate deposit return system models and support publicly run systems that serve people and not profits. New York's EPR proposal centralizes control in a single producer-run packaging reduction organization, PRO, often called PRO in most of it when the discussion comes up at EPR, extended producer responsibility, which is often considered as a panacea for this like a plastic crisis. PRO is often the centerpiece, packaging reduction organization, and that directs all funding, program design, and performance standards for at least the first 10 years. While marketed as accountability, this structure concentrates power in industry hands and excludes local innovation. The bill repeatedly references reuse, but confines it to producer-managed logistics such as deposit return and refill systems, and excludes community-led or consumer-initiated reuse like Bring Your Own from funding. Local governments are relegated to a consultative role and can access funding only if the program aligns with the PRO's plan. A state preemption clause further strips municipalities of fiscal authority and decision-making power. In practice, this bill substitutes corporate management for public governance, sidelining grassroots local systems such as BYO that actually prevent waste at the source. True zero waste requires local autonomy and public oversight. We support a public agency model, transparent, accountable, and community governed, so reuse and resource recovery stay public goods, not corporate assets. Okay, so here's what you can do right now to support BYO. Please sign the petition to support BYO and support BYO-friendly businesses, and join, if you haven't, start your local chapter for BYO and talk to local officials about BYO as part of single-use package ordinance. And if your state doesn't allow BYO, please start talking to your state reps to start making a change. Illinois, California already allow this, and Oregon and Maine also have very good laws on BYO. And I think one of the things to keep in mind is that federal food code is a guidance document. It is not a law, so it's up to states to how to interpret it and how to act on it. So this is something that a lot of people misunderstand. It is up to your state government. So you can talk to your representatives to introduce a bill that will make BYO fully legal. If you need to, I have some resources. I can share what we have, like our amendment proposals, which is actually on the petition text. All the resources are already on the petition text. If you go there, there are lots of links, so you can look at it and find out what needs to be done for your state as well. Like you can kind of compare and figure it out. That's it for my presentation. So takeaway is that reuse is a right and not a privilege. And this is a picture from our trash pickup over the summer for the Plastic-Free July. We put 800 pounds of trash, hundreds of bottles, lots of tires, so all kinds of things in our inlet. And we was just like 4 hours, 40 volunteers, It was disturbing, but it was also fun.
Hmm.
Trash pickup can be a lot of fun. So that's it. That's it for me. Thank you so much for bearing with me.
Thank you, Yayoi. Yes, I actually just made a note. I need to look at the language that you've got. Where is the language? Where's the easiest place to access the language?
If you go to, I can share the link to the language.
Okay,
Just a
that'd be
second.
great. That'd be great.
So just to make sure the language has to be like, this is for our New York bill. We proposed amendment to the existing bill. So if your state doesn't have a bill at, similar
Right.
bill, then you should make reference to Illinois law and how they passed it. And I actually shared the link to the Illinois law early on in the chat, or California is also good as well.
Okay, thank
And
you.
thank you, Seema, for sharing that link. I got it from Seema. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna run out of time for our breakout groups. So if it's okay for people, unless anyone has a burning question, I want to suggest that we move ahead to the breakout groups.